Good to go.
The next guest, who I'm lucky enough to be sitting down in the studio with, hails from the rich London music scene, with a soundscape that is unbound by genre, ranging from eclectic UK garage and punchy breaks to percussive, hard-hitting club-made techno. He has had standout releases such as his EP Girl on UK-based label Dantsu Discs, and more recently, his co-founded label Night Service, where he had Volta. If you place these two EPs next to each other, you'll notice a contrast in genre, yet trademark elements of similarity. His ability to create such highly regarded music across genres shows what a true talent he is. Playing a number of shows in Australia and New Zealand, the guest I'm lucky enough to be sitting down with is the one and only Bailey Ibbs.
Was that a chat GPT written or? That sounds way too good to be true.
I actually didn't, but that's good for future. If I'm struggling and I've got a bit of like writer's block,
yeah,
chuck it straight in.
I've been abusing it. I've been absolutely abusing it. Anytime I need to write anything down, I just chat GPT it.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
Yeah, have you seen it? There's now a free. So I've got a free version. You can actually, there's a paid version called Chat GPT 4.0 or 3.0 or 2.0, and basically that's like game changing. People like can make music with it and like.
Oh, they've got I've seen like the Kanye over like a Drake beat.
Yeah, have you seen that? Yeah.
Crazy.
People have like made a beat and then like got Drake and like The Weeknd to like sing on it, obviously through AI, and it sounds like spot on.
Yeah.
How scary is that?
It's fucked up. And like
I'm out the game in like 5 years. You can just type in make a techno track, bosh.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm out the game.
That's wild. Welcome to Australia.
Thank you very much.
How have you been? How have you been finding it?
Sleep deprived, but it's been really fun. Everyone's been really, really welcoming. And I was saying to my girlfriend actually, whenever I play some like in other places, like I'm lucky enough to have like one or two people message me being like, like I'm excited to see you play. Never seen you play before, which is really nice. But like since I've been here, I've had probably like 10 times the amount of people being like, wanted to see you for so long, like I've been coming to see you play, and I'm just like, how like it's amazing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. But yeah, everyone's been really welcoming, and I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's I think we were talking about it on the weekend. After you played at XE, I was playing at another gig. Bailey and I, for those playing at home, Bailey and I caught up on the weekend. Went out for a lovely dinner. With my partner Ella as well. And you've got a new favourite dish, actually, I heard. Quail? What?
No, I didn't like the quail.
No, Bailey wanted to try the quail and he rated it a 4 out of 10?
Yeah, I think it was about 4.
Average. Anyway, sidetracked. But we parted ways for a little bit and I walked into the event I was playing at. The first track that I heard walking in was one of your tracks, and it was just funny because I remember saying that to you. I was like, I walked into the club and someone was playing, I think it was Not Into It. Oh, no, it was just That's Right.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, it was me. And I was like, no, at the other club. I was like, no, at the other club I was.
Yeah. No, I was like, yeah, mate, I literally just played it. Like, so no, that's sick.
Yeah, anyway, it's no, you're very well loved here, and it's great to have you out here. So I actually did, just before we get too far into the nitty gritty, in case I thought you might be a little bit nervous, so I got you a present.
What? I saw you putting your hand in that bag, and I thought, what's he doing? What's he filling in there? Is it a pink lady?
Yeah, it's a pink lady apple.
Damn right. How do
Yeah.
you know I like apples?
Yeah, I don't know. Just word on the grapevine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
apples when you're a little bit nervous to calm the nerves.
Yeah,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Every time I play a gig and I might be a little bit anxious, I always make sure I've got an apple on me. I don't know why. It just calms me down. I don't know. It's such a weird thing. I think people have their own like rituals. Some people meditate. Some people like to drink or get like wasted before a set to calm the nerves. But a good old pink lady does me just right.
Beautiful. I love it. Nice and healthy too. Anyway, I like to start the show with how we met. We obviously met on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Hung out. It's good fun. Got to see you play at XE, which was great. Played an awesome set.
Thank you.
Really, I've been looking forward to watching you play. So it was pretty special. But I like to also start the show with, the early stages of kind of where you kind of got into music. And I know we spoke a bit about it on the weekend. But do you want to give the listeners a little bit of an understanding of where it all started for you out there in Ipswich?
Yeah, so I guess going right back to the start, I think I was probably about 9 or 10, and what was it? I think I got like Guitar Hero, or I went round to friends and they had Guitar Hero on Xbox or PlayStation. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I used to love guitar.
I loved it, and then I got it, and then ever since then I wanted to play guitar, and so I did that for about 4 or 5 years, and I hit a ceiling with it quite early on. I did my grades till grade 4, but I was, to be honest, I was pretty bad. And then my sister's partner at the time introduced me to, like, at that time, I think it was like 2011, 2012, so like Deep House was like in, like the UK, like Dusky, Maya Jane Coles, Julio Bashmore, like that kind of like 2014, 13 Deep House was like cool at the time. And he showed me that, and then kind of slowly got into it more and more, and then I kind of threw the guitar away. I think I sold it on eBay, and I saved up and I bought myself a crappy laptop and got like a free version of Ableton.
Yeah, right.
And ever since then, it was always been like production and like dance music. And then I kind of think over time, it just kind of evolved into what it is today. I mean, a lot of people probably know me from my garage stuff and my break beats. And then some people might have just found me through the techno. But yeah, I think it's just kind of like a organic development of like my skills and my interests in production, I guess.
And you studied music at uni as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
And so what sort of, in terms of dance music, like what sort of artists kind of really exposed you and made you fall in love with it?
I guess like dance music in general, probably the first few people that really got me into it was, like I said, Maya Jane Coles. She's from the UK, from London. She's like incredible if you don't know her. And then there's a Canadian artist called Jacques Green who does really good work of like blending R&B and like house music together.
Kind of like, he reminds me a little bit of like Caribou.
Yeah.
Like really cool vocals. There's that really awesome album. It's got the red artwork.
Caribou.
No, sorry.
Jack Green.
Jack Green. It's got the red artwork. I think it's got like the last track on it is Another Girl.
He just brought out his 10 years of Jack Green, and so it's like there's a few unreleased tracks, and then there's a few like of his older stuff that have like he's like re-released, and like I used to be obsessed with him constantly. So like all the unreleased tracks are like I've heard before a million times, and I'm like, oh, he's finally released them, like they're finally seen the light of day. But I'd probably say he's probably been the biggest kind of influence in me, just like even just getting into dance music. But yeah.
He's actually got a song called Night Service.
Right. I want to set the record straight. I haven't spoken on camera about this. I haven't like said it online or anything. But so the way it came out, right? So he talking about them unreleased songs. So I would find some on online, and there was a song that was called Night Service, right? And it was not the song that he released. It was an old song that I think he then released as Night Tracking on a previous EP. So I copied that for the party because I really like the name. And we did our first party in 2019 or 18, I think it was. And it was actually a few weeks after we did the party, funny enough, he released Night Service. So if anyone says anything, I've got solid proof that I didn't copy that song. I actually copied another song, but that's not on YouTube anymore, that first song. So
interesting.
So if anyone asks, I made it up and he copied me.
It's on the record, man.
Yeah. It's on record now. So like, if anyone asks, I came up with it and he copied me.
Noted. And then obviously with the productions, as you mentioned, initially started out, kind of getting on the map with the UK garage and breaks stuff. How long at that stage had you been producing for, having a crack in Ableton?
Good question. I think the time I kind of released my first kind of bits of music as like garage was probably about 3, 4 years ago. And at that point, I'd already been producing for like 4 years before that.
Yeah, quite a bit of time.
Yeah, exactly. And then like anyone that knows, or anyone who's like tried to produce or has produced, knows that it's like learning a different language, right? Like you'll always learn new things, and some people can pick it up really quickly, and they're unable to, and then a year later they've like released their first song and it sounds really good. But I think for me it was kind of like a slow burning process. And I think that's kind of one of the things that a lot of people ask me, why did you go from like garage to like breakbeats to techno? Is that another thing I should probably set straight as well. Like I've always been a fan of techno. Like me and my girlfriend had been to Berghain before I like released my first piece of music. So I've really been into like techno for years. But I've always like never really understood it in terms of like a production process, I guess.
Okay.
And things like garage always came more like naturally to me. So I think when I was like keen to like try and make a fully formed song, I just found it a lot easier to like make a garage track with like cuts and breaks and like drops and stuff like that than kind of a fully flowing techno track.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
And that transition, at what point was there something? Obviously, you mentioned that you've always loved techno, but at what stage were you just was it just fiddling around on Ableton where you're like, okay, now I'm actually learning to be able to make a techno track? Like, at what stage did you kind of make that transition? Because they're quite different genres.
Yeah,
they've got obviously got like similar elements in terms of like percussion and things, but as a whole, you're not going to book a UK garage DJ and then like a techno DJ next to each other on a lineup. Yeah,
definitely. And I think like even like my thought process when it comes to like producing then two types of music are completely different, like how I approach it. And I think that the point where I like kind of decided wasn't actually I can make techno now, like I'm going to make a techno track. It was more of like at this point I'd fallen out of love with the garage scene, I guess, and doing that. And I thought to myself, right, I either like do what I really like I've always really wanted to do, which is techno, or I just can't do music anymore because I don't want to keep doing the garage stuff because it just didn't feel like right. I just didn't enjoy it.
Okay.
So I didn't release anything for like almost a year, and then the first thing I put out was the Volta EP, which done really well. Like I was really surprised at how well it was done. So yeah, it was kind of more of like a conscious decision of like, right, I'm either going to like spend so much time trying to make like a project and like music that I'm happy with, or I will just forever keep trying and I'll never actually end up doing it because I can't. So it was, yeah, I think I just kind of got lucky with it.
Yeah,
I guess.
It's really interesting. It's a cool progression, and I absolutely adore UK garage stuff. I particularly love like some of the samples and some of the ad libs that you use in there. I think it's in Helter Skelter. It's like, you're a fucking nutter, mate.
Yeah.
Where's that from?
It's from, so there's like, there used to be these like illegal, I wasn't really born at this time, but from what I know, there was like illegal like parties in like fields, like on farmland and like in the countryside in the UK, especially a lot kind of like in the Midlands and stuff. And the parties were like, they were called like Helter Skelter, Dreamscape, I think, Fantasia, and there's another one that I can't think of, but they were like the big ones. And so they would have like hardcore and like drum and bass and jungle DJs play, and then they'd have like an MC, a person like introducing each artist. And so like a lot of the time you can hear like some guy saying something on a mic and with terrible sound quality, and in the background you can hear like horns and like people cheering. That's all like the same sample.
Right.
Like it's literally just an MC being like, next up we've got da-da-da, make some noise for da-da-da, you lot are going crazy, da-da-da, and then you can hear like and there's like the crowd going crazy in the background, but that's just all like a recording that you can get on YouTube.
And then people are just...
Yeah. I like if you go on YouTube and type in like Dreamscape 98 or like Fantasia 1994, like there'll be like 2-hour long like set recordings on YouTube. And that's just, it's just in there.
Because it's like, when you said that, then it reminded me of the intro to that Bailey track, Take It Further.
Yeah.
Make some
yeah,
noise.
I think that one's from a set at Ministry of Sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same thing. It's just like, it's literally just like, I think I've done it. I think Bakey did it. Denim Audio have also like done the same kind of thing. Yeah, it's just kind of from like rave tapes online that you can just kind of like sample.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's cool. And so with this whole transition, I guess, how was it for you in terms of being booked? Because promoters are they know Bailey Ibbs for all of the UK garage stuff you've been creating. How was the transition in all of that?
I think at first it was quite painful. In terms of like, I'd get booked to play these parties for like, and they'd want like breaks or garage and stuff, and I would play it. I'd play a little bit of it, and then I'll kind of try and like turn it into like a techno set kind of towards the end. And you could definitely tell that like the audience I was playing to weren't fans of techno. I think in the UK people like one thing or they like the other, and a lot of people say they like the stuff in the middle or they like everything, but really they've got like a preference for what they like. So yeah, I think after a while I just started again. It was like producing. I'm either never going to DJ again if I'm only DJing these kind of parties, or I will be like successful enough and be able to like transition. And I have been lucky enough. But at first it was very painful. I think even my girlfriend knows that, like, because she would come to gigs with me and she'd be like, I can see what you're trying to do, but it's just not working, and it wasn't. It just wasn't working.
That would have been really tough. Like, could you just like feel the energy in the room as
it would just drop. It would just drop.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be really awkward.
But like, to be in all fairness though, like the promoters were all really sound, and they were like, yeah, like do whatever you want to do, like we trust you.
Oh, that's good.
And at the end, they wouldn't be like, oh, why did you play techno? We didn't. But like, they're all like, yeah, they were all open to it.
Oh, that's good.
And I was really lucky to like work with some nice people, but you could just tell that the crowd just wasn't really into that kind of music. So yeah.
No, but respect to this like going for it as well. It would be a hard transition because, as we mentioned before, they're quite vastly different. But I want to kind of dive a little bit into creative process because, as you know, we had the discussion on the weekend. I don't produce music, but I feel a lot of other people out there will benefit. How do you kind of structure creating a track?
Usually it's like always start with a kick drum. I think that's the main thing, especially in dance music. The kick drum's like the most, like, you need to get your fundamentals right, and so like the kick drum and like the sub bass is the first things that like kind of need to be like sounding good and like bumping. I think after that it's like kind of percussion stuff, and then after all of that I probably work on like the synth or like the riffs or like the more melodic elements. Structure wise, I feel like techno's like repetitive, right? It's just like the same kind of, typically it's the same kind of loop over and over with little certain variations. And a lot of my like stuff is, I only work in the box, so like on Ableton. I don't have any hardware.
Yeah, that was my next question.
So it's kind of, sometimes it can become quite monotonous and repetitive to like keep doing the same thing and then make a new track and do it the same way. So I'm always trying to work with like sequencers and create like random variables and changes and things that I might not necessarily like tweak by hand, and just kind of let the machine do the work. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
Just trying to replicate what people would do on hardware, but on software, basically.
Right. Okay, that's cool. And do you use like a heap of different plugins and stuff, or?
No, it's mainly just Ableton plugins.
Right.
And I sample a lot. So I will like use samples and put them into like a sampler, and then like get a sequencer to like play different parts, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm not particularly too techie with synthesizers. Okay. So yeah, a lot of it's like sampling.
Yep. And so obviously we were talking about it before, you go see a chiropractor because of being hunched over.
Yeah. I probably see it on camera now. I'll probably sit up straight. If he watches this, he's going to be like, oh, this is terrible.
That's great. By the way, Bailey has been doing his exercises. If you're watching chiropractor, swear. But in terms of your productions and everything, obviously that's a massive part of your life. What happens when how do you deal with writer's block and when you're not feeling as creative, or does that not happen to you?
It does. Yeah, it definitely does. I just don't bother making music and just like play Xbox or do something else in my time when I've got free time, obviously. I try not to force it, and then after a while I can kind of feel like I get to a stage of like, right, I need to kind of like, it's weird, it's like a cycle. where like for like 2 weeks I'll like be really wanting to make music and like be really proactive, and then for like a week after I'll be like putting it off because I'm not really feeling it, and then the week after that I kind of have to like churn through the shit and force myself to like produce a little bit, and then the cycle begins again.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of like how it kind of goes.
You just like have a completely different outlet, which is
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always like, I'm quite an obsessive person, so if I'm not obsessing over production, I will like, it's really weird, I'll get into like a new niche thing that I've seen online and I'll just like obsess over that, or like I'll like obsess over football for a bit, or I'll obsess over like a new sport that I've found, or like or some sort of like painter or something. I don't know, it's really weird. I'll just like obsess over a different thing for a week, and then I'll obsess over production for 2 weeks, and then I'll obsess over something else for like a week, and then I'll obsess over production for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's kind of good because you know you're coming back to production with like a fresh mind. So yeah, it's definitely not a bad place to be. And I want to know like what a day in the life of Bailey Ibbs is like, because you're obviously just gone music full time, which is sick. So congratulations.
Thank you.
That's only you did quite recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. My last day at my old job was last Thursday.
How did that feel?
Great. I don't think it's really settled in yet, because I finished on Thursday. I played that weekend in Glasgow, and then I came back. Monday was a bank holiday in the UK, so I wouldn't have been working that day anyway. And then I left for Australia on Tuesday.
True.
So I haven't like. It hasn't been a day where I'm like sat in the flat and my girlfriend's at work and I'm like, oh, I'm not working today. So it hasn't like sunk in yet.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm waiting for that day. But so far I guess it feels great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels good.
It'd be pretty exciting for you.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, I guess it's probably too recent. I was going to say, what's a day in the life of full-time music?
I can tell you what a day in the life is in Melbourne for me. Whereas I wake up in the hotel, like sit there, watch a bit of telly, have a shower, go out for a walk, get some food. There's some really good Asian restaurants in Melbourne. Like there's a massive.
Let's talk Melbourne. Melbourne.
Yeah, Melbourne's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, weather's.
So what have you done?
Weather's pretty crap, but like, I've been walking around a lot. I've been getting my like 20,000 steps in a day.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I've just kind of been walking around the city. I'm quite weird. Like I like looking at buildings. Like I like architecture.
Okay.
And I will literally just walk around and just kind of like stare at a building and be like, oh, that's really nice. And I'll take a picture and people are like looking at me being like, I went for a walk the other day and I walked past, Elizabeth Street.
Yeah.
There's a JB Hi-Fi on that road. And then I think there's like a glass building in the distance, and it was like the sky looked really nice. So I took a picture of it. And like I remember some guy walking past me and he kind of like turned his head. And he was like trying to figure out what I was taking a picture of. I just smiled at him and I was like, you're not going to get it because I know I'm a weirdo. Like, I know I'm a bit weird.
That's great. But you wouldn't go up the building though, would you?
No. I'm any higher than like the 30th floor, I'm not doing it. But yeah, I've just been kind of like checking out the area. I've been to Fitzroy and Brunswick. Which are really cool. That's like that. I feel like that's the Hackney of Melbourne. Like it's a bit run down. There's a few crackheads, but like there's some nice like restaurants and like designer stores and like record shops there.
Yeah.
Which is just like screams Hackney.
Yeah, right. It's cool. It's got a cool vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you went to Natural Selection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Natural Selection.
And you picked up. Did you pick up a few records?
I picked up a record. I can't remember what it was now.
Yeah.
But I picked up a record. And I also saw, funny enough, I was paying for my record and I saw my friend's delivery box from the UK, Dr. Banana.
Oh, cool.
His like record box, like his like delivery box was like next to the till with like his like smiley face tape on it. So I just took a picture and sent it to him.
Oh, that's so cool. It would have been pretty special for him to receive that. It'd be like, whoa.
Yeah,
from the other side of the world.
They were like, oh, do you want to open it? And I was like, no, it's fine. I just know the guy that sent it. So it's like, I just want to send a picture and tell him.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, no, Melbourne's been really good. Sydney was nice. I feel like, obviously, no offence to anyone from Melbourne, but I feel like Sydney's a nicer city, but I feel like Melbourne's got more about it. Like there's more going on and it's more interesting.
Probably perfectly summed up.
Yeah.
I reckon.
I think Sydney's like, the city is really lovely and it's like really beautiful and the weather was great.
Yeah.
Got to Melbourne and the weather's pretty crap, but like there's more of like a hustle and bustle about Melbourne. There's like more about it and the culture, like I was saying, there's a massive influx of like Asian culture, which I think is great.
Yeah.
And it's really, really nice to see. So, yeah.
Awesome. So obviously touring, and you got New Zealand after this.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go with the touring life? And obviously you've got you kind of spinning a few plates. You've got you obviously on Rinse FM as a resident there, and you've got the label as well as your own productions. How do you go balancing it all?
So, firstly and foremost, I think the way I'm able to do it is probably my girlfriend Paige. She runs, like I say, we run night service together, but it's pretty much like she runs it, and I'm just like the good-looking one, the face of it. She'd hate me if she had me say that.
Well, she probably will.
She probably will. Yeah. Okay, great. No, so to be fair, she does most of the work. She does all the sort of like when it comes to events and even Rinse, like the Rinse show is a night service show. So like we'll take it in turns. 1 month I'll do it with a guest, next month she'll do it with a guest, and the next month we'll probably do it together, and then so on. But when it comes to like the parties, we kind of come together and we come up with like an idea of a party of what we want to do and the people we want to book. And she does most of the work with like contacting agents, speaking to the venue. I'll do my little bit here and there, but yeah, I think she kind of holds me down a bit and keeps me grounded and helps me get through things as well. But then with kind of like touring and stuff, yeah, it's tough. Like I feel like the no sleep thing about DJs is something that I had to learn. I love my sleep, but like you have to really not sleep to be able to like do the job properly and do it well. But yeah, I mean it is a balancing act, and I think for a long time when I was working full time and DJing, that fucking kills you. Like it's like really draining. So I could only do it for a certain amount of time, hence why I don't do it anymore. But yeah.
And how recently played in Glasgow? How's that?
Glasgow's good. Yeah, it was fun. I feel I see like a weird similarity between Australian people and Scottish people. The fact that like doesn't matter what the music is, as long as it's loud and it's bumping, like they just want to like have fun and party. Yeah, Glasgow was really fun. I was playing with the Craigie Nose boys.
Yeah.
And they were really, really nice, really welcoming. The Scottish people are like people. You kind of go from like Birmingham up in the UK, and everyone's really lovely. Like everyone's super welcoming. Like they're welcoming with open arms. Really, really sweet. South of England, maybe not so much.
Right.
But yeah, Glasgow is really, really fun.
And so in terms of in the UK, so is there certain sounds that are big in certain areas? Like for example, is there like kind of a, say in the north is techno big, or in the south is UK garage big? Is there that sort of vibe, or is it just kind of like pretty broad?
I guess it's kind of broad, but I feel like from my point of view, it's more of like each specific city has their kind of like sound.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like London is like London's a mishmash of everything, right?
Yeah.
Like there's so much stuff going on there. Like on any given weekend, you can go to like a drum and bass event, jungle, garage, breakbeat, house, techno, anything you want. There's like London's got it. But I think if you go to places like Bristol and Leeds are quite like UK bass heavy, so they're like garage, drum and bass, jungle. What else? So Manchester, really big techno scene. Manchester's got really good techno parties. Right. Probably the best techno party in the UK, Meat Free, is based in Manchester. And that's kind of really about it. Anywhere else in the UK doesn't really have a kind of a nightlife culture, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I think when you go to the UK, just stay in London.
Yeah. Don't
go out anywhere else because it's just there's no point. You've got everything you need in London.
And where am I going in London?
Fold. Yeah, you go to Fold.
Yeah, we're talking on the weekend.
Yeah. It's the best club in the UK. Easy. Yeah. It's like the sound in there is like probably one of the best clubs I've ever been to in terms of sound.
Right.
Like and I'm talking like Berghain. I haven't been to Bassiani yet, but you know the big boys. Fold is just incredible. Yeah.
Sick. Well, that's noted. It's definitely a destination I need to get to.
Yeah. Oh mate, honestly, I can't sing its praises enough. Shout out James, Newmark, Lasher, all the guys in there, they're all brilliant people.
Right.
Yeah.
Sick. Shout out them if you're listening.
Yeah.
I hope you are. Be cool to get them out here. It'd be cool to interview them. That would be really interesting to speak to.
Yeah, there's kind of like a cult following at the moment between like, so one of the guys that owns it, Lucia, he DJs as Voice Drone, and then James Newmark is the I don't know what his official job title is, but he's like the sound engineer, kind of runs the whole sound of the club. But they play together back to back quite often, and they have like a cult following in London that like whenever they play, like loads of people go to see them play just because they've got like they're known for what they do at Fold.
Cool.
And they've like played kind of all over Europe together. So yeah, I think they need to do an Australia tour.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
How old are they? Like older guys or?
I think James is probably about my age. I think Lasha is probably maybe a little bit older.
How old are you? If you don't
I'm 26.
26.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I don't think they're around my age.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
What was the next question I was going to ask you, actually? Oh, yeah. So I want to steer a little bit away from music.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of relates to tour life, but I want you to talk us through the process of when you first get in a hotel room here in Australia.
Okay. So every time I go to a hotel room, the first thing I do is I take a video and send it to my girlfriend and my family, just in the group chats. So I'll literally open the door and then I'll shut the door and I'll like take a video and just show the hotel room. But obviously when I've been here in Australia, I've been like making sure there's no spiders in there. So I've got a fear of spiders. And I remember I would go in because everyone was like, oh, you've got to check under the toilet seat as well because sometimes like they could be in the toilet. So I would like literally get my foot, they might not see this on camera, but I'll get my foot, like flick the toilet seat up and like press the flush button with my foot whilst like taking a video, like kind of leaning back as well so they don't get me. And then like flicking open cupboards and fridges with my foot, just making sure and like looking all in the corners. Even when I get into an Uber here, I get into an Uber and I shut the door and I no word of a lie, no shit, I literally put the flashlight on and I check like my feet by the seat. And then I'll look because I saw a picture the other day of a girl in the back of a car with a huntsman by the like the handle that you can hold onto, a huntsman right there, and the girl didn't realise in the picture. So I was like, yeah. Right. So I'm like, I'm looking there, I'm looking everywhere, and I'm like,
it's so funny. And a video popped up. I think it was yesterday. Just I don't know on my feed, and it was a huntsman. Crawling across a guy's windshield, and he turns on the windscreen wipers trying to hit it off, and then it goes around onto his window, and he's like screaming. And I was going to send it to you. I was like, no, I won't freak Bailey out more.
No, if you sent me that, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
I wouldn't come.
And we did spider-proof the studio before you came.
Yeah,
in.
so I checked down the back of the sofa where no one was looking. I actually slightly just looked. I was like, mate, I got to check.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so spiders and heights, your two biggest fears.
Yeah.
And I also heard that you're an amazing father to a young kiddie.
Oh God, you hit me up then. I was like, oh no, my girlfriend's pregnant and she's told you before me. Yeah, no, I've got a cat baby. Yeah, Aika. She's a blue Russian mixed tabby cat. Yeah, I love her to pieces. I miss her a lot. I've been away for, just over a week, but I miss her. I love her so much.
Cats are great, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're very, their personality. And, like, people who say they don't like cats, actually, like, I'm going to, like, not on. Like, you just don't understand their personalities. Yeah. We've got a cat at my family home. His name's Bruce. He's about 16 or something now. But, yeah, their personality's great. How old's yours? She's
8 months old.
Right.
So she's still like a kitten.
How are you dealing with fatherhood?
I love it. Yeah, I love it. She gets annoyed at me a lot because I like to pick her up a lot and cuddle her and like smother her. But speaking to my girlfriend whilst I've been away, she's been a lot more loving. So I'm a bit like, I wish I could be there to like get some of that love from her. But
does she walk across your laptop when you're doing when you're producing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've got a desk in the corner of our living room, which is literally where I make all my music. And like I'll just be there with the headphones. and then like she'll like brush past and she'll like sniff my ear and my cheek, and like her whiskers will like tickle me and make me jump, and then she'll just come and walk across.
Yeah, it's just like you're not paying attention to me, so I'm gonna go interrupt what you're doing.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
give me attention.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's so funny like that. Anyway, it's come to the time in the show for a segment called Ricky's Quickies.
Oh, Ricky's Quickies.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically just quick fire questions.
How have you spelt quickie, by the way?
Q-U-I-C-K-Y.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine. That's fine.
You're the second person that's actually brought that up.
Okay.
Do
you know why?
Yeah.
Okay. You know why?
Crombie had a pretty funny response to it.
Okay. Cool.
He said, what did he say? Settle down. You haven't even bought me dinner yet.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Buy me a drink first.
Yeah. Exactly. So just quick fire questions. Just want you to just go for it. So
Okay.
First one is produce or DJ for the rest of your life.
DJ.
Nice. Favorite club you've played at?
Fold.
Could have answered that. What's the number one place that you want to play?
Burgoyne.
Who's one artist you'd love to go to dinner with?
Ben Sims.
Ben Sims. Nice. Dream label to release on?
Oh no. Be quick.
That's all right.
Um.
You've been the quickest so far that we've had.
I don't know. Okay, let's just say Token.
Token.
Yeah.
Dream artist to play at a night service party?
Ben Sims.
In terms of music genre, who or what is your guilty pleasure?
So I like really weird, kind of like lullaby. I call it lullaby rap. On SoundCloud, there's a guy called Tony Snow who I absolutely love to pieces. He basically just raps on really weird, soft, like lullaby-ish music. It's really weird, but yeah, he's like, I love that.
Oh, cool. And where's he from?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Yeah. What's a cocktail that you feel represents you?
Oh, good question. I don't really drink cocktails, so I don't know too much about it. But there's one that my brother made me in the first lockdown, and it's got like some grenadine in. It's like a cherry grenadine or something. I don't know why I'm asking you. Like you'd know. I don't know if you'd know. It was either a Sex on the Beach or it was or it might be a Mai Tai. I'm gonna go with a Mai Tai.
No, 2 guests in a row have said that. So it's got a shitload of alcohol in it apparently, and like fruit juice.
Yeah.
Loose but sweet.
There you go.
Apart from the necessities, what are 3 things you would take with you if you were stuck on a desert island? So like food and water are obviously the necessities. Like
My girlfriend, my cat, and can they be people?
Yeah.
Okay, so my girlfriend and my cat, and what's the other thing I'd take? Probably take my laptop.
Nice.
Just to make beats on.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Biggest fear?
Spiders and heights.
Would you rather let a huntsman spider crawl on you for 1 minute or bungee jump?
Bungee jump.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
But like the cord's gonna stay attached, right?
Yeah,
it's not gonna break
of course.
off. Okay.
That's
I don't know. I'm asking. Like we're actually gonna do it. No, I'd bungee jump.
Okay. What about skydive or bungee jump?
Skydive. If I'm gonna have to have that fear, I'm gonna go all the way and skydive.
Nice. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Justin Timberlake, Senorita.
Nice.
Yeah. As a warm up. Yeah. I'm not singing it. No. Oh fuck no. Look, I need another one of these.
Yeah. The Victoria Bitter. How are you finding them?
It's really good. It's really, really good. I don't know what the percentage is.
1.3. 1.4 maybe, I reckon.
Oh,
sorry. Standard drinks, we do. Percentage, I don't know what the actual percentage would be.
4.9.
4.9%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had dinner yet. That's why I'm feeling a bit zesty.
Okay. Yeah.
You were like 1.3 and I was like, oh, fuck, I'm a bit drunk. But I haven't had dinner. And it's 4.9, so you can let me off.
Yeah. You let off. If you could be any animal, what would you be?
An eagle or a hawk,
Yeah.
a bird. Even though I've got a pet, like I'm scared of heights. Like I'm good on planes. So I feel like if I could fly, I'd be chill. I'm not worried about heights, but I just want to feel like I'm free, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a really cringy way of saying it, but
No.
that'd be
It'd be cool to be able to fly.
what would you be?
Me? That's a good question. I'd be a peregrine falcon specifically. Fastest animal on Earth, and
Okay.
you're also a bird. You're high on the food chain, like a bird of prey.
Mhm.
So like nothing really fucks with you.
Yeah. Where are they located?
The highest concentration of them is actually in New York City.
Really?
Yeah,
Right.
because the wind of the wind actually goes into the skyscrapers and creates like this upwards motion
Push,
where
yeah.
they can just like hover, and their biggest prey is the poor old pigeon.
Nah, fuck the pigeon. They're annoying. Yeah, sick. I'll be one of them with you.
We'll
we'll go to
roll
New York.
around together.
Yeah,
It'd be
sick.
good.
Sick.
Favorite character from The Office?
Oh, Gareth. It's got to be Gareth. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Those of you that know The Office, you'll understand.
Yeah, UK version. We
Yeah,
don't do US here.
No.
No. I mean, US is good, but UK is the supreme, yeah. And
Definitely.
I think I like Gareth as well because I feel like I've met him. Not him, as in I've met people like Gareth.
Oh,
Like
I was gonna
I've
say.
met like 3 Gareths in my life, and there's just the same like characteristics. And then when I watched The Office for the first time, I was like, I know that person.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I know people like that.
I love that.
Brilliant.
I love it when a TV show's able to replicate like a certain personality so well.
Yeah.
What would your last meal on Earth be?
There's a burger restaurant near mine called Burger and Beyond, and I love burgers. Anyone that knows me, I love a good burger. I think I'm actually just gonna start an Instagram page where I like review burgers.
Nice.
But there's a restaurant near mine called Burger and Beyond, and they do the best, just normal cheeseburger, but it's incredible. So
Right.
I'd probably eat that.
Cool. Well, funnily enough, a couple of my mates used to run a Instagram page that reviewed burgers called Burger Bros 69. Shout out.
Nice.
They forgot the password though, so they've never been
Oh.
able to get back in. But the number one burger that they rated is near you in the city called 8-Bit. It's pretty simple, just like they're just good quality burgers.
8-Bit.
8-Bit. I remember I sent to you as well. My favorite burger place is Grand Trailer Park Burgers. It's in the city. I can't remember specifically what street,
Okay.
but that's a good one. I highly recommend to get the. What's your ideal burger? Sorry, sidetracking a little bit. Like your ideal burger, like are you a chicken or are you beef or are you
Beef. Yeah, beef.
simple or
Simple. Yeah, like a simple cheeseburger done right. Can't beat it.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
nice?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing you've eaten in Australia?
Oh, good question. Very good question. I had it's the Italian we went for.
Nice.
Yeah, I know what to say. I know to say the right things.
Yeah. Good call. Good call.
Yeah, no, it was really nice actually. I just on that night. I just wasn't too hungry. So, but I want to go back.
It was nice.
It was really good.
Illyria is the restaurant name.
Yeah,
So-
shout them out.
Shout them out. Hopefully a free meal.
And the waiter was like, he knew everything, didn't he? We
Yeah.
even said like, how does he remember everything?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He remembered the specials so well. First thing he opened up with, do you guys need an emergency Negroni?
I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's We went for tequila lemonade, which is nice.
Sure.
And the final question. It's your last set ever.
Mm-hmm.
What do you close with and why?
Ooh, good question. What do I close with and why? I will probably close with something stupid, like
Fair call, I say.
like some 41 fat lip or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like from when I was in when I was in like high school,
wind back
like
the clock.
Yeah.
Fall Out Boy, thanks to the memories.
yeah. Oh, there you go. That's exactly what I do. Yeah, like the old like punk pop skater vibe.
Blink 182.
Yeah.
First date. Or
Yeah. That's exactly what it'd be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
What's
crowd
my
ag-
age again or something like that?
Yeah. What's my age going to be perfect?
Yeah, it'd be something along that where people can either reminisce about being young like me, or they'd like mosh or like whatever. But I think that would be quite fun.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Have you seen? There's a Boiler Room. It's the Disclosure and Scream back-to-back Boiler Room, and he ends with Arctic Monkeys. What's the name of the song?
Is it?
There's the pillow fight.
Yeah. It's a pillow fight. Yeah. And she's a scumbag, don't you know?
Yeah,
Dun,
yeah.
dun, 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 dun,
That's
dun, dun, dun,
right.
and then like I think like
Fuck.
Jack Marshall or Scream like gets like crowd surfs, and they're like carrying him back. It's brilliant. Yeah, something like that where people can just go crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like so left field too.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when you at a festival. Have you ever been? Sorry, kind of going on a little bit, but have you ever been to a bush duff by any chance? Do you guys have?
What's a bush stuff?
Wow, you're gonna have to come back out to Australian summer next year.
Mhm.
Hopefully, play at one of them.
Okay.
It's incredible. Because it's literally just like a festival out in the bush, in country Victoria or most of them are in Victoria.
Mhm.
And they deck it out with like a few stages. That's pitch music and arts is a bush stuff.
Yeah.
And just the vibes there are really special. And I feel when someone, an artist plays a track that's like really left field and like nostalgic, the energy there is like crazy.
Mm-hmm. How big are the spiders? That's the question.
Yeah. Look, I told you that story on the weekend of Ella and I going to bed on the final night on the Monday, and there was a big spider in our tent. But I like if you ever come to one, we'll write it out together because I'm also terrified of spiders.
That's fine. If I do play one, just to let you know, I will play my set and I'll leave.
Yeah,
I'm not sticking around. Get in, get done, and get out.
I'll slash the tires of yours.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay. But I'm gonna take I'll get like hairspray and a lighter. So if there's like any spiders, I'll just fucking burn the bastard. Have you never done that?
Yeah, I
Get a
haven't
lighter and like some hairspray and just go at it.
Yeah, I haven't done it to a spider, but I've done it as a joke. In
Yeah.
the kitchen.
Oh, growing up, like you used to go to like an ant's nest. You just get like a Lynx Africa and some crappy lighter out your parents' drawer and just fucking go at it and just be like, go on in. Like, that's what I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's a good note to end on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
No, thanks for having me on.
It was awesome. It was good to pick your brain, and all the best for the rest of your tour.
Thank you.
What cities are you playing in just before you leave?
So this Friday I'm playing Christchurch, and then Saturday in Auckland, and then Sunday in Queenstown.
Busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got constant, and then Monday, 32-hour journey back to London.
Where do you stop over?
So I go from Queenstown to Sydney, then Sydney to Abu Dhabi, and then Abu Dhabi to London. And the Sydney to Abu Dhabi, I think, is one of the longest flights. Besides a direct from like UK to Australia, I think it's one of the longest flights you can do. I think it's like 14 hours.
Wow. And
correct me if I'm wrong. I could be completely wrong.
No, I reckon it's in the ballpark.
It's up there. Yeah, it's probably like top 10.
And you've also got Stranger at
Yes.
night service.
Yeah, we
which
played
is
together on Friday last weekend in Sydney. First time we met, lovely guy. And then and then I've got it playing again in not this Friday coming up, but then one after in London
sick
at Fold.
At Fold.
Yeah,
Wow.
at Fold. So
That's
the
be
next night service
sick.
party. Yeah, it's gonna be wicked. Really.
So
really
you're
good.
holding night service at Fold.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
incredible.
So it's gonna be banging.
Is it a Saturday night or
It's a Friday night.
Friday night?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But looking forward to that.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on Club Elevator. It was fucking sick to sit down with you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.